Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com. In this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Debugging GSI ROM based on Android 16 on any Android phone. So please take a backup of all that on your phone and then let's get started. Okay, first and foremost, please install the Treble info app from this link. Now launch the app, go to the second tab and please verify your phone is shown as supported. As you could see in our case, it's supported. If that's all well and good, then next up, open this article on a new tab. I'll show you why just a minute. Simply keep it open and now get the GSI ROM from this link. It's the crDroid ROM for our phone, in fact for any phone. And you could see there are three variants. First off is the ARM32, then we have the ARM64 and the ARM64. So this is the CPU architecture. You could verify the same from the app itself. You could see in our case it's ARM64. So we could use either the second or the third one. Then we have the AB. AB is system as root. Both the AB and the B means the same thing. Let me show you by this article. So it should be both the AB as well as the B means system as root, and as you could see in our case, it's now enabled. So that's all well and good. Then you have the GApps or the micro G. So we are using the GApp variant, and once you have got the required file, GSI file onto your phone, onto PC, extract it as well. So for that, use the 7-zip software. Once you've got the software, right click on the exit file and select show more option, 7-zip, extract to crDroid, and you will now get an IMG file. As you could see over here, this is the IMG file which you have just got. So this is the GSI file which will flash onto our phone. Moving on, now get the latest Android SDK platform tools from this article and extract them onto your PC. You may start them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done some C drive, and as you could see, the following are the 5 platform tools. When that is done, now enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the phone. So let's now enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone. From settings menu, go to about phone and tap on build number or OS version 7 times. Then go back, go to additional settings or system, dev options, and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. On Xiaomi phones, you have to wait for 10 seconds and tap on I am aware of all the risk. It's one of the worst UI there, so we can't do anything for that. Now tap on OK, and you might get one more prompt. Again tap on allow or OK, and with this, the debugging is now enabled. So let's verify that as well. For verification, type in CMD in the address bar of platform tools, hit the enter key. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are having an ID. As you could see in our case, we are having this ID. If that's all well and good, then let's unlock the phone. For the nothings and the OnePlus and the Pixels, simply use the command of Fastboot flashing unlock in the Fastboot mode. You'll get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, the phone is unlocked. In case of, let's say, Xiaomi, if you're an MIUI, simply use the Me Unlock tool. In case of HyperOS, you have to use an exploit or a few other ways out as well. So this is the articles wherein there are 4 or 5 methods for HyperOS. The first one is for the HyperOS 1 and these are for the HyperOS 2. So try out that approaches and unlock the phone. Then if you talk about the Samsung phones, in that case, you have to first boot the phone to the download mode. From download mode, long press the volume up key to go to the device unlock mode. Then once again press the volume up key to unlock the phone. And once that is done, please enable Wi-Fi and verify your phone is showing the OEM unlocking here. As you could see, this means you have bypassed the vault keeper. Anyways, once you have unlocked the phone, next up, transfer the ROM file inside the folder of platform tools. So let's do that. This is the GSI ROM file. Copy it from here, paste it here. For the ease of convenience, let's rename it to something shorter. Let's rename it to GSI, and the complete name becomes gsi.img. Moving on, now get the file of vbmeta img from your phone. Should be of the same firmware which is there onto your phone. First, verify the firmware version from the phone's build number or OS version. On some phones is the OS version, which is over here. Then on other phones is the build number or the version number. Let me show you for example. Then we have a OnePlus phone as well. In case of a OnePlus phone, you have to see the version number, which is again there in the phone's settings menu. So from there, go down to the system and update. Okay, go to the about device version and have a look at the version number over here. In case of the Pixel phones, you have to have a look at the build number, which is in the section of about phone over here, build number. Then in the case of Samsung phones, you have to look the software information version. If I have a Samsung stock firmware now currently, okay, both the Samsung phone have both of them are having a custom ROM, so I cannot show you right now. Let's skip that. But it's the software version for the Samsung phone. Anyways, moving on. Once you've got the build number for your phone, get the exact same firmware as well. In case of the Xiaomi phones and the Poco and the Redmi, get the Fastboot ROM, then extract the .tgz via the 7-zip, you'll get the .tar file. Again, extract that by 7-zip, then you will get the firmware. It will be something along the following lines. Let me just show you. This is you could see firmware 2040 is the same build number in the same region as well. So from the Fastboot ROM, go to the folder of images and get the file of vbmeta img. Copy it, paste the file here inside the folder of platform tools. In case of nothings, you will get the firmware from the official GitHub link. I have linked that all as well, and you will get the file over here, vbmeta. In case of the Pixel, get the factory image and extract the factory image zip file. Then extract the image folder, and you will get the file which is over here. In case of OnePlus or the Realme Oppo, you will get the zip file. So extract the zip file. After that, you will get the payload bin file. Now let's extract the bin file via the Fastboot Enhance tool. So launch the tool now. Go to the payload number. Click on Browse. Choose the payload bin file. Click on Open. Now go to the Partition tab. Search for the file of vbmeta. This one, allow incremental, extract image. Choose the location. Click on OK. The file is now extracted. Let's verify that as well. So you could see this is the file. So once you've got the file of vbmeta, place the file inside the folder of platform tools. And now both the GSI ROM and the vbmeta file should be there inside the same folder. As you could see, this is the GSI ROM. This is the file of vbmeta. Once you've got both the files, now boot up into the Fastboot mode. For that, type in the command of adb reboot bootloader and hit the enter key. The phone should now be in the Fastboot mode in a few seconds. Once that happens, type in the command of Fastboot devices and verify that you are having a serial ID. If you're not having any ID, then please install the Fastboot drivers onto your PC. We have made an article and a video on that as well. You could install the drivers from here. Once that is done, right click on the Windows icon or use the Windows plus X shortcut keys. Then choose Device Manager. Now expand the Android phone section and verify that the phone is being shown here. As you could see in our case, this is the case. So if that's all well and good. So now first off, let's flash the file of vbmeta and disable the Android verified boot. So copy the entire command, paste the command in the CMD window, hit the enter key, and now boot up into the FastbootD mode. For the FastbootD mode, type in the command fastboot reboot fastboot, hit the enter key. Your phone should now be in the FastbootD mode in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to complete. And once it's in the FastbootD mode, your first action is to remove the product partition to make space for the GSI ROM. So we'll remove the A partition of the product. So copy the entire command and paste it in the CMD window. Hit the enter key. This is now removed from our phone. You can now flash the GSI ROM. Type in the command of fastboot flash partition name, which is the system partition, file name, which is gsi.img. Hit enter key. The flashing will now start. So let's see what happens now. So if you're again having an issue and saying that there's not space enough for the file to be flashed, also remove the B of the product. So remove both the A and B. Then again try flashing the file, or you may also switch to any other version. If you're using this one, which is quite heavy in size, then you may use the micro G as well, and then the flashing will go on. So let's now wait for a few more seconds for the flashing to complete. So guys, the flashing is now complete. Now let's do a phone formatting. For that, type in the command fastboot space -w, hit the enter key, and now you want to reboot to the OS. So type in the command of fastboot reboot, hit the enter key. The first booting up will take us some time. That's all normal. From the next time, that is not going to happen. So with that said, let's wait for the bootloader to appear or the boot animation. That will signify that the flashing has been done on our phone successfully. So let's wait for a few more seconds. I guess in around 10 to 15 more seconds, we should see the boot animation on our phone. And after that, we'll have a look at the ROM features as well. Let's first wait for a few more seconds for the boot animation to appear. On some phone, it might take even longer, and you might also get a white screen. This is not a bug, just simply ignore that. It's now booting up as well. So just give around, I guess, 8 to 10 more seconds, and this will be gone and you will now be inside the OS. So let's just wait for that to complete. Around 10 to 15 more seconds at the very max is remaining. And again, I'm repeating, it's not a bug as such. It's just nothing to worry about, a small UI issue. And now you could see we are inside the boot animation. So let's now get started in a few more seconds. Hit the start button. And for now, I'm skipping all of that because it will take a lot of time. If you want, you may connect to Wi-Fi, link your Google account, and restore all the app data as well. But that is going to take way too much time in my case. So I'm skipping all of that stuff for now, simply accepting all the terms and conditions. Let's skip this for now as well. Skip this. Next, and that is it. We're inside the crDroid Android 16 based ROM. This is the new QS ties, as you could see, based on Android 16. There is a little bit of transparency as well, which is quite nice. In the app drawer, guess what all is there. The Treble app is now inside the app drawer only, as you could see. So you have all the tweaks over here for the Qualcomm settings, then Xiaomi settings. This is the with regards to the OEM. In case of Samsung, you get the Samsung settings, OnePlus case of OnePlus settings, and so on. Display tweaks are over here. You may force the refresh if required. If there's any issue with the display, then choose the last one. It will fix all the display issue. Talking about which, I have made an article as well, and over there, all the fix for all the issues are given here. You could see. Just open this article. It should this is the article. Open this article, and you will get the fix for all the issues which is there in the GSI ROM. If you have any issue still, let me know in the comment section. But let me show you. As you could see, these are the various issues for the 5G SMS Bluetooth calls, 90Hz display, fingerprint, brightness, WhatsApp double tap to wake, brightness, Wi-Fi, brightness slider, headphone jack, and camera. All the fixes are given here. If you know what you're doing, then only use this feature, or else do not interact with them. That might lead to some issue. So in that case, please don't use the features. Accent color, default icon shapes. Let's say Samsung. Icon pack, default, Oxygen OS. Font family. I guess it might be there in the crDroid tweaks as well. Nothing dot, and it's now changed. And apart from that, audio effects are over here in this section. Okay, wait for a few more seconds because I applied some tweaks. It might take some time to appear. Let's close the app. Not an issue for me. I will look at a later stage. Wait. Okay, it's a UI bug. Unlock the phone, lock the phone, and unlock it. Okay, even that is not working. That was not what I was expecting, and now it's well and good. So let's access the settings menu, and you could see we have changed the. Okay, everything is there in the crDroid as well. You could tweak all of this stuff from this section as well. Just give me a second. I have to first change the font style from here, because that's not readable as at all. I guess in the UI section or what. Okay, yes, icon pack. Okay, not there. Font family, default for now. Let's stick with that only. And now you have carried out all the tweaks from this section of crDroid settings, as you could see. Status bar icons, clock style, left or right, clock and date. Show or hide the PM as and the seconds as well. Add a background chip, and you may also show the date as well. Apart from that, 4G icon, Wi-Fi standard icons, the color icons, and you could now see it's now colored. Simply log and unlock the phone, and you could now see the icons are now colored. You may also add a logo at the top left, but let me change but that will take quite a lot of space as well. You could see it's taking a space, but these are the various logos to choose from. Let's turn it off. Change the icons, battery style as well, battery percentage, show it, tap to sleep, it's working, double tap to wake is currently not working. There might be a feature for that as well. Quick pull down, let's say from the right hand side, and I guess a UI restart is required. Only after that it will work. Okay, now it's working. Brightness control from the status bar, this is currently also working. In the QS settings, what all we have, you may add a header image, let's say Avengers, anyone of your choice. So choose anyone, and it's now implemented. As you could see, it's definitely not looking anything as such expecting. These are somewhat not naturally looking. I am not a fan of anime as well. Okay, for now let's stick with anyone of our choice. Anyone will do. This one is quite cute. Anyways, let's skip that for now as well. Then you may also change the battery style. Let's say circle, and it's implemented. Apart from that, okay, in the next up we have the lock screen tweaks. Clock font style. There are many clocks that you could choose from. It's a way too much options that we have at our disposal. So which one should I go with? I guess plants. Plant. This is the one. Is it applied? Yes, it is applied. In some cases, you might see a UI bug, but that's just for the first time usage. You can now see if you remove this as well, you will now get the wallpaper, the clock at the center. And apart from the clock style, show or hide the carrier name in the lock screen, add weather as well, but that will require GPS and internet at all times to be enabled. Fingerprint authentication vibration should be enabled as well. Button tweaks, partial screen shock, power menu, advanced reboot is there or not. That is there. So let's see what all is in advanced restart. System UI recovery, and Fastboot. All the 4 options are there. So that's great to see as well. Then we have the UI tweak. Okay, there are many remaining. Next up with the UI tweaks, ambient display, charging animation. Let's enable AOD as well, always return time, and when charging, let's see the AOD. You could now see the AOD. This is here enabled. This will save some battery. Double tap to wake is currently not working. I cannot find that option. Okay, apart from that, the theming setting is over here. I want a black theme, but I don't think any ROM has the black theme for now. At least not this ROM does not have it. Let's stick with the default theme for now only. Navigation bar style are the followings. In case of 3-button navigation, you may choose from them. Then you have the font styles, which we had a look just now. So let's go with the Acknowlica. It's now implemented. Then you have the icon pack for the status bar. Apart from that, we have the signal for the carrier data as well. Many options to choose from. Wi-Fi icon styles. Again, there are many options as you could see. Icon shape. Let's go with the Treble. And it's now applied for the home screen and the app drawer. You could see both the home screen and the app drawer is now implemented. And notification tweaks, force stop button in the notification long press. This is the force stop button is added as well. And then what all we have in the sound sections. Volume panel on the left, screenshot sound. Let's turn that off for now. Miscellaneous. I want the spoofing section first and foremost. Well, I cannot find the spoofing section because that was the most important part. Spoofing with regard to the plain integrity test in the keybox file. Although you have the option to get unlimited Google photo storage, Netflix spoof to watch DRM in full HD 1080p. Then the sidebar is over here. But I want to find regarding the keybox files first. Let's see these features. Sidebar, you access the entire app drawer from here. Let's close that for now. Then apart from that, 3-finger swipe. Let's say take a screenshot, which is over here, and it's working well and good. In some ROMs, the section of keybox is in the apps. Let's see over here. Well, it's not even here as well. That is surprising to see. I don't know why that's the case. Let me make a search for the plain integrity. That is not there. Let's search for the keybox as well. Just give me a second. Well, that's not there. So the only option to pass the strong test is to first obtain root on the ROM, rooting, and then you have to flash a few modules to pass the strong test. That was not what I was looking for, but I think there's no other way out. So I have a few articles on that as well. Android 13, this is the article. So have a look at the article. You may root the ROM by flashing the Magis, KSU, anything will do, but it's recommended to use the Magis in case of GSI ROM. Then flash these modules, and after that use the KSU web UI, a keybox file, and get the job done. That would take a lot of time, but we don't have any other choice. So for the unaware, let me show you what I mean exactly. In most of the custom ROM nowadays, we have the option to upload the keybox file. That's it, and you will pass the strong test with ease. So for example, this is one of the ROMs. If I go to it's the Dofus ROM, and over here in the miscellaneous, it has the option to upload the keybox file. So load the keybox file from here, and then just check out. You will pass all the 3 tests. There's no need to obtain root or use any other thing. But that is not the case with this ROM. There's no option to upload the keybox file. So we have to obtain root and then pass the strong test. So that is one negative side, at least for me. Then apart from that, what all is there? Let's see the system section. Navigation mode, system profiles, Treble settings, which we have seen just now in the starting of the video. Then apart from that, let's have a look at the wallpaper and style section. The home settings first over here. In the lock screen, you may change the clock style from here. Then change the theming engine of the ROM from this section. Switch between light and the dark theme. Let's stick with the dark theme for now. And you may add the shortcuts as well for the icons. This is the UI for the icons. The status bar, the font size, which you have seen already. In the home screen tweaks, you may enable themed icons, and you could now see they are implemented. Change the app grid size as well. For me, 5x5 is the fine. And that is just about it. So in the home settings, you set a custom icon pack from here. Tweak some of the home screen toggle. Double tap to sleep is given here. So I have to access the Google app. You may turn off this feature as well from here. You may turn that off. Then apart from that, at a glance is over here. You may turn off that as well. And the Google search bar is at the bottom. You may remove that from this section. In the app drawer, you may enable themed icons, but for that, first you have to enable themed icon in the home screen. Only then it will work. You may also turn off the app search bar, which is at the top over here, you could see. But I don't know why anyone will turn that off. It's quite a handy feature. In the recent, you have the option to enable lens, screenshot, clear all. So you could see these 3 are now implemented. And apart from that, miscellaneous tweaks are just these. So guys, that's all from this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section. And thanks a lot for watching.